Hey guys, happy Valentine's
Happy
Day.
Valentine's.
This week you may be feeling a whole range of different emotions depending on your relationship status.
This video isn't just about Valentine's Day or for Valentine's Day. We just wanted to share some experiences that we've had from being single to now being married.
So my first question to you is, are you ready? Are you ready for love?
Yes, I am. Oh, yeah.
If you are single and watching this, you're either single and loving it, or you're single and you're probably feeling a bit meh this week because you don't have that special someone to do life with. And we're going to look at both of those different types of people first. So, Megan, my darling bride, what was it like for you being a young single lady in your 20s?
Okay, girls, so who you chatting to this Valentine's?
Joseph.
Wait, do you mean Joseph or do you mean hot Joseph?
Hot Joseph.
Girl, I literally can't even. Have you got him a gift yet?
Honey, I am the gift.
Stop! I literally can't even.
I think I've experienced every range of emotion on Valentine's Day since being alive, and I remember some Valentine's Days intercepting flowers and chocolates in the post so my parents wouldn't know I was with a boyfriend, or completely wanting all the affection and affirmation from people and wanting all the presents, to then completely being content with not having anybody at all. So I think I've gone through dreading it, loving it, to then being like, oh, I'm not affected by this, I'm happy as I am. If you are single, we just want you to know that there is so much more for you. And I remember feeling, after meeting Joseph, almost feeling the fall for years of just dreamed up emotions or dreamed up love affairs and petty feelings. And I remember at 18 I had this amazing encounter with God where he spoke to me so clearly, and in that I'd been with a long-term boyfriend. God spoke to me and said, if you give up what you think is love, I will show you what love is. Yeah, I really thought I knew what love was at this point, and I thought that that's actually was the best for me, and I was ready to marry this guy, but God was actually drawing me out of that because he had so much better and he had so much more for me. After laying that down, I remember having to make this choice for years of, do I choose the easy option of what was in front of me and what I knew God had called out of me because it was there, or do I actually fight for something better even though I couldn't see it yet? It was actually 4 years later when I met Joseph, and for those 4 years after making that sacrifice for God and obedience, I really felt God protect me, shield me, hem me in for those years, and actually meant that when I did meet Joseph, I was in such a place of security and intimacy with God where God had just shed me of wrong thinking, and made me so secure in him rather than the affection of others. Believe for the better. He has so much more for you than you could ever think or imagine.
So before I was married, I was actually really pumped to be single, but probably not for all the right reasons. I can remember casually just messaging one girl, or maybe even more than one girl, and looking back I'm like, why did I not just pull the plug sooner? What was the point? What was I doing? Was I just feeding off the attention? I could never imagine myself ever sitting down with any of these people and talking about future plans. And please, I want to address men right now. If you are messaging someone just for the sake of it, look at their name and think, am I legit actually going to marry this person? Because the answer is probably no. You know that if you were really interested, you would have made an ask by now, so come on, just stop. Now, in some cases, you might actually have to be really clear in your communication here and actually say the words, look, I think we're messaging a bit too much, this is getting inappropriate, let's agree to stop. That's called protecting your heart, that's called protecting her heart, that's making a boundary clear, that's called being a real man. Save all your energy and all your purity for someone that you just look at and think, yeah, you're amazing. I want to move forward with this, definitely. I think we should all be really clear with our asking out, and Matthew 5:37 says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Saying maybe isn't a real answer. That's what wimps say. Yes, they might be disappointed with a no, it might be awkward, but you'll get over it, they'll get over it. My rant is now over.
So how is love inside of marriage different? I remember the week after we got married, I wrote some things down that I'd learned in my first week, and number one on that list was don't underestimate love. That was the first thing that I remember learning. There is a force of love and power and purity that can only be found inside of covenant. It could never be found outside of marriage. It's the same as the covenant of love with our Father. There's a power in communion with Him that could never be found outside of Him. Love within marriage seeks to promote the other, whereas for years I'd sought for how can I feel loved, how can I feel affirmed, what can someone else do or give me to make me feel a better person. And in marriage that completely shifts, and it's what can I do to serve you, what can I do to make you feel loved.
Make me breakfast.
Song of Songs 2:16 says, I know my lover is mine and I have everything in you, for we delight ourselves in each other. Song of Songs, I believe, both reflects the relationship of our Father in His intimacy with us and the intimacy between a husband and wife. And this verse just perfectly says that I know my lover is mine and I have everything in you. There is complete contentment that is found within that marriage, within that sanctuary. And we get to delight ourselves in each other. We get to delight ourselves in serving each other, blessing each other, and honouring each other.
My final thought is, are you treating Valentine's as a day to stimulate some temporary gooey emotion you really feel? Or are you intentionally protecting yourself and the best version of love that Jesus has for you? If you want to hear some more cool, gooey, lovey things we've done, here's our story. And about how we met, and here is our other little soppy video we made. What was it about? Sex and
relationships.
Relationships and stuff.